I'm asking to myself the last few years, last 4 or 5 years. When I'm standing here today, the question comes back again. Why and how and because me or Vaishali, we came in contact with Dilip Chitre only a couple of years before his death. We were not knowing him, but we were knowing him as a poet, and I was reading his poetry, other things, articles, other creative writings. But in those last 2-3 years, which we met and we started talking to each other, it was something as if some kind of archetypal relationship. In Marathi, the word is there, Adi Bandhatmak, something which was beyond and which was why, how, I don't know. But those 3 years were very, very close. Those were the last 3 years. And in those last 3 years, he was not writing much, but towards the end of the year before, his all energies he was putting into paintings. In those days, almost once in 15 years we used to meet, almost in 15 years, right? And more than that. And every time when we used to go to his place, he waiting for us to show not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but literally, first time when we came out, we were shocked. We saw hundreds of works were everywhere. A poet's house, one Roman kitchen, and the canvases, paper, everywhere they were stocked. In kitchen, in the bedroom, under the bed, over the bed, outside, in the sitting room, below the table, on the table, everywhere. And his energy was like flowing. The first impression when we saw it was like everywhere, bundles of energy. And then one day we talked. He called me. We were talking about this exhibition in Bandol Art Gallery. And before that, he said that I think, as if, at that point of time, well, a couple of us were knowing the seriousness of his illness. And suddenly he was not knowing much, that's what we were thinking. And he called me and he said, we had some different kind of title for this whole show, related to his poetry, related to his love for Vittal, his love for Tukaram. But he said, Sanjeev, no, I want this title. I said, what is it? He said, The Black Among Others. And it was like as if he was knowing what's going to happen subsequently. He started talking to me on that day. I remember his phone call and we talked for a long time. And he talked to me from black to death and from death to black. I told Vaishali that this is something, he said, what is he talking about? And next day morning when we again went back to collect some paintings, because most of the paintings were in black, monocolor. We sat, prior to that, I remember talking to him about Wittgenstein's color theory, the book which I was reading and he had already read and shared a lot of things about color theory. And that day, I remember him talking about, I told him that this Wittgenstein's understanding about painting as a color as a sensation, and his famous question that has anybody seen Iridescent in black? So we talked long about it, the whole idea about spectrum, whether white exists or not, and are the other colors are basically shades of black or shades of white, all those discussions we had that day. I remember some time back, a long time back, almost Kaitolve, and he had talked to me about structures. He said the painting is more like building of structures or structures. And what we see is a color structure. He had that time to stammer and all. So, and we talked about, incidentally, Kaitolve also talking about Tukaram, when I was sitting in Delhi's house and we were talking. And then suddenly he said that the painting, if we look at the structures of color, it has got its own ecosystem. Colors, it's a very interesting statement. That there are structures of colors, a lot of intellectual work, and those structures are in some kind of ecosystem. Or they have an ecosystem. They have their own likes, they have their own dislikes, they have the kind of conflicts, they have kind of enmities, friendships, and with all these relationships, they build up a kind of dynamics. And that's what is a dialectic relationship between the colors, the tensions which come out as a life on the canvas or paper. As an artist and as a poet, this discussion of course helped me a lot. But talking to Dilip, he talked to me about color words, and I specifically mentioned this in my, when I wrote obituary in Economic Times. He used a word called color words. And it's interesting. On one side, color structures, on the other side, talking about color words. Words for him has had a different understanding altogether. If you remember, this morning you had that Tukaram says Tukai, right now? Yes. You just give him the copy. And his understanding of the words was, many times words have been understood by various people, a lot of things have been written about it. But his understanding of words was different. It was precisely the way Tukaram understood it. And whether colors or whether words, his words did not have any, they were beyond, words attaining the position beyond meaning kind of thing. And this is why I end up with this 4 lines of Tukaram, which he translated, which is fortunately on the last page of this book. Words are the only jewels I possess. Words are the only clothes I wear. Words are the only food that sustains my life. Words are the only wealth I distribute among people. Says Tukaram, witness the word, he is God, I worship him with words. So this is how